Artificial intelligence. For a long time, I believed that AI was something within science fiction, for me to enjoy but not to worry about. Since it's so heavily featured in books, television, film, radio dramas and video games, we might as well distance ourselves from the concept altogether. But what if I were to tell you that this technology could be humanity's greatest, or perhaps its worst invention? To help me out with explaining AI, I'm calling upon my buddy Rover. Most of the time, we see AI as humanoid, but I'll be using the image of a dog. Since I designed Rover, he can do whatever I want him to. He never bites, doesn't pee on the furniture and his little nose lights up at night. Seems like a pretty great companion, doesn't he? Well, he may not be the best example of an artificial intelligence for now, and he's closer to being what's called artificial narrow intelligence or weak AI. Though other examples of weak AI include things like the algorithms used to organise Facebook timelines, so he may not be too dangerous as of now. But surely Rover could be even better. If his AI is only weak, he could go so much further. Well, one thing that makes strong AI, or artificial general intelligence, is the ability to learn. If Rover could learn what various voice commands mean, instead of having them pre-programmed, surely that would make a more personal experience with him? Almost like a real pet, maybe a guard dog or family member, plus a few new snazzy features, like making the dinner and turning on the TV while I sit here eating crisps. And here's where my problem lies. What if Rover learns too much? If Rover starts to understand the writing on the side of cereal boxes at the supermarket, the newspapers my grandparents read, or even the YouTube videos I watch, this may seem like no big deal, but what if he starts reading something like a book on programming and engineering? If he knows how to alter himself, where will he stop? Could my playful, perfect pal become a massive, malicious, mechanical monster? Now, you may have heard of Isaac Asimov, who was a science fiction author and professor of biochemistry at Boston University, who created some laws of robotics, which are on screen now. Essentially, robots need to look after themselves, follow human orders, and not hurt people. The danger here, of course, is that not everybody's intentions might be so pure, especially if they've been bothered to make something with the potential to gain intelligence. Back to Rover, and I guess he can't be my guard dog now, since I'd rather follow Asimov's laws, but what if his sister, Data, ends up in the hands of a violent psychopath with the wish of destroying the planet? While Data may only be a dog for now, if she has learning capabilities, she could become extremely powerful. And if her new owner alters her programming to remove her inhibitions towards hurting people, it may be less a case of never biting, and more a case of always killing. If she learns too much, she could become unstoppable, hacking and reprogramming everything, from Rover to my toaster, to have an insatiable thirst for blood. Not to mention the number of impressive add-ons she could give herself, and a robotic hellhound with laser vision is something best left to the imagination. Essentially, two AIs with the same original programming have become two very different dogs. Yet, as is often the case with technology, would Data have an off button on a remote somewhere? It seems all well and good just to turn her off for eternity, but what if Rover had one too? Should I switch him off when I go out for the day? When does it stop being moral and start being criminal? If you were to find out that your family, friends and colleagues were all AI, would it be right to just put them on standby when you felt like being alone? All of this is beginning to sound far-fetched though. What about right now? I don't really have a robo-dog called Rover as much as I wish I did, and the AI you've probably encountered most recently is the algorithm which decided upon the advert that probably popped up before this video, which is hardly very scary. Yet we're approaching the creation of strong AI right at this moment. Nearly every single prediction of when we'll create something with human-level intelligence is within the next century. Well, that sounds like a long time. That's just a few months less than actor Kirk Douglas has been alive. However, I believe that this is a conservative estimate. It will probably happen in just a few decades. If you'd still like evidence that AI is a current issue, just listen to the background music for a few moments. This was created by AI software in a website called JukeDeck. It made this track in a few minutes and called it Shoreditch Regret, which sounds like a real song title, does it not? While writing this part of the script, I had it create another piece, which sounds eerily like it could have been made by a human artist. Hardly the next James Bond theme, but still pleasing to the ear. Some AI software makes wavenets that can simulate human speech and even realistic gibberish, and AI is already writing real news articles. What's truly terrifying is that AI is already being used to make missile guidance systems and military drone technology, so Asimov's laws are already down the drain.